From the engine room of business transformation, Abuja Investments Company Limited presents the Abuja Business and Investment Expo 2025. More than an expo, it's the ultimate gateway to Africa's booming markets, powered by AICL, driving growth across the Federal Capital Territory and beyond. Theme: empowering sustainable growth, unlocking potential in emerging markets. Connect with local and global industry leaders through keynote panels, workshops, and networking sessions on SMEs, entrepreneurship, access to finance, mentorship, technology, the digital economy, and more. Date: October 22nd to 25th, 2025. Time: 10 a.m. daily. Venue: Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center, Abuja. Accreditation: October 21st at the same venue. For inquiries, WhatsApp 091 35001059. Email: sponsorship at abisummit.com. ABIS Expo 2025, brought to you by AICL. Trailing the blaze, setting the pace, driving the future.
In Ibrahim Gabon. He is best known for his role in over 150 Nollywood films, including Last Flight to Abuja.
Television producer. He's made significant strides in the entertainment industry, particularly with his recent action thriller film, Hakim Seeking Justice, which premiered in Nigeria cinemas on August 1st, 2025. The film, directed and co-written by J.J. Skills, follows the story of Hakim, a grieving ex-military officer seeking justice for his family's murder, and it has received impressive box office numbers, grossing 23 million naira in its opening weekend. Shakwale, also known as Oshak, is a British-Nigerian Afro-pop artist based in Milton Keynes, England, is a multi-talented individual with a degree in mechanical engineering and a postgraduate degree in renewable energy from the University of Reading, England. Ushak is also an English FA licensed football coach. Ushak's music style blends Afrobeats, hip-hop, high-life elements, and creating a very unique sound. His debut album, Disrespect, featuring reminiscence against significant airplay in the UK and Nigeria. Some of his popular tracks include Forever, a sentimental love song dedicated to his lover, Breakfast, a hit single that gained over 38,000 plays, Omoge, a heartfelt track, and Ushak considers that his very favorite.
Popularly known as OG Poshwela. It's an Nigerian entrepreneur, marketing influencer, and CEO of Poshwela Empire. She's a prominent figure in Abuja's social scene, known for her lavish lifestyle, fashion sense, and philanthropic work. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, her career span across so many walks of life. She's the founder of Poshwela Life Foundation, CEO of Poshwela Group of Companies, and also marketing influencer. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together and give her a resounding round of applause as I welcome the born in Kaduna, Nigeria, OG Poshwela. Can we please give her a resounding round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, I find it very amazing to welcome the next to join on the platform this lovely afternoon. Abiodun Akombi is the Chief Investment Officer at the Abuja Investment Company Limited, ARCL. He plays a key role in shaping the company's investment strategies and driving growth and success. Some of his notable achievements include leadership, award and recognitions, partnership, and of course, vision. Akombi has expressed gratitude to Ambassador Warren Terminal for exceptional leadership and vision, which has driven AICL's growth and success. He's committed to continuing AICL's work in empowering women and driving economic growth in Nigeria. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, can we please put the hands together for Dr. Abiodun Akombi to welcome him.
All right, the next person I want to introduce, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is a man that is simply known as Ken the Activated, popularly known as Malam Yankee. He's a renowned Nigerian entertainer and entertainment promoter and CEO of Yankee Entertainment. He's been instrumental in organizing successful events, including the Night of Abuja International Carnival, and has collaborated with the Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Creative Economy to promoting Nigerian culture. Some of his notable achievements include Night of 1,000 Laughs. Malam Yankee took over as producer of this iconic stand-up comedy brand, aiming to expand its scope and host it in more Nigerian cities. Abuja International Film Carnival, he played a key role in rebranding and organizing this event, which showcases Nigeria's culture and creativity to a global audience. Music and entertainment. Malam Yankee has promoted music albums and events for notable artists like Tubaba, Yanya, and Charlie Boy respectively, and this has been on for 2 decades and counting. Malam Yankee is widely recognized as a Jagaban of entertainment in Nigeria, and his contributions to this industry have earned him respect and admiration across the world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for all these superstars that we have lined up under the roof of this very Tinubu International Conference Center, ultra modern, can we please call all of them to rise up one more time and take a bow as we give them a very deserving round of applause. And it's time to hear from them as we hand over proceedings to applause for them, please.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is interesting. In the past, this is part of entertainment. We live in an era in the nation where a nation is no longer judged by what it produces, but also what it creates, innovates. Nigeria has become a beautiful brand. Afrobeat, I remember a few years ago I traveled sometime back, and when I got to the airport, I was asked, are you good Nigerian or bad Nigerian? And I asked the guy, are you good, whatever the country was, or bad? Because every country has good and bad. But today, when I go and I say I'm Nigerian, the first question is, do you know Burna Boy? Do you know Davido? Do you know, it is little by little we don't realize how much our soft power is taking over. But how do we harness this? How do we turn this into money? Nigerians are some of the most talented people in the world. You can't come here in Nigeria. Even our confidence level is up to if a Nigerian laughs in a room, they'll know it's in Nigeria. And that's who we are. But how do we translate this into power? Nigerian jollof rice, we recently won the Guinness World Record for the largest pot of jollof rice. I think Hilda did that. I've gone into shops, Macy's and Co. And I'm looking at our outfits that we take for granted here, and they're putting some dollar tags on it, and I'm like, I will leave there and come here to come and buy this one for some amount of dollars. But it is interesting to see, even the fashion world, the horse races and Co. You see royalty wear Nigerian outfits. You enter a mall, you hear Nigerian music. But how is this? I mean, I was in the mall in a day, and the entire mall was playing whiskey. So you go to a lot of countries, and you see how much our soft power has influenced. They even know our food. Nigerian restaurants are springing up. The question is, how do we turn this into an asset that is tangible? How do we become deliberate about using this power which we have acquired? I'll say we've already acquired it, but we're not harnessing it. How do we start to do that? And I think I have a panel here about how we can bridge the gap. And it's interesting to see that a government institution is vested in ensuring that we can do this properly. So I'd like to welcome the panelists. And just from your different points of view, let's start the conversation. How do we even start to, first of all, what do you do? Give us a short brief, and how have you been able to harness this culture, the assets we have? All these names here are well known. 30 December is now a thing. My cousins who have never been to, my nieces who have never been to Nigeria, I have 6 of them coming in December. And they're so excited. So how do we start to turn this into real economic power? Maybe I'll just start with Jimai because of the closest to me.
I think first of all we have to look at what we term as hard power. Hard power is measured in armies and economies. How large the armies are and how strong the economy really is. Soft power, on the other hand, is measured entirely by the influence. And I think that's a better conversation here. How much have we influenced the world? Where we've come to understand that Nigeria is no more a nation where culturally we can export to a great measure every influence, every part of our history, the essence of who we are. And the world normally respected the standard attention wherever we go and give the space with them. Soft power is everything. I just say that soft power is part of what has made many countries that we admire and we look up to build up the strength, the audacity, and the image and the brand that they enjoy currently. A great example is the US. US was entirely created, and the American brand was entirely created by Hollywood. We can also go as far as talking about South Korea, the K-pop culture, and the cinemas. You understand that India is even a great example as well. We all know what men, as men, I can tell you that there's no man sitting here or standing that has not gone through a certain continent made on their homes, where the ladies of the home have taken over because they want to watch K-pop, they want to watch Korean films, or they want to watch Z-World. We don't even know what's going on in the world anymore because there's no media space that has not infiltrated in our homes. At this point on the ladder, I think we should be thinking collectively as men, how we can hold our own conferences to sabotage subscription, to stop paying for it entirely.
Maybe we can just replace it with our own.
Well, it's going to be a very private space where we have these conversations. Very but that is the strength of soft power. That is the strength of our cultural strength. Because it's no more provincial, it's exportable. It's exportable and it's an asset. I think we can't live in the doldrums and the sidelines of conversation anymore. We have to bring it to the center of our strategy, our economic strategy, and our strength.
So how have you been able to use this in a field where you operate, which is Nollywood? Nollywood is already a big thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so how have you been able to use this?
In so many regards, it's because Nollywood is the second largest industry in the world, as well known. That in itself alone is it has a certain downside because we tend to approach Nollywood from a sort of individual experience. It's not a collective. And I think it's time that we have that conversation in broader terms where we can sit together in the room and actually think of how we can harness our soft power, our culture, as a collective together and see how we can sit down with government, with stakeholders in the government to advance our cause.
I guess that's why we're here. Several creative industries.
Yeah.
So your overview of this would be nice.
Can you hear me? So for me, my story, I would say, started as a young man, lost in the culture of England, hip-hop, R&B and stuff like that, and I was bullied for being Nigerian at that time, so hence the name JDC, because it was actually an insult. Yeah, so I was insulted at JDC, and I thought to myself, there's nothing wrong with being Nigerian. So I made a song called Nigeria is the Best Land. And from there, I started, instead of just rapping in English, I started using Yoruba. About Shere, one man, baby, Tani Shere, and everyone was amazed that this Nigerian guy would step on stage with his hair, green, white, green, and singing about a country that they'd never heard about. That basically changed a lot of people's mentality. Then I said to myself, okay, my man cannot be an island. So I started training young producers and singers, like Don Jazzy was one of my producers, the band was one of my artists, and Stano G was a really artist I was developing. So I was trying so hard to sell it to the record labels, Sony's, because at that time I had a group called Big Brothers, signed to Sony, and we went platinum. So for me, I just felt like our culture, if we sell it to ourselves and sell it to the world, it would make a big change in how we feel and how we earn. I was very right, because we took that project and we took it to Nigeria in 2004, and from there, everything exploded. We had the whole more hits thing, and everything just changed the whole industry. So we were able to capitalize, but the thing is, with music, it's different. An individual can make music. You can be your own record label. You just had a distribution with Alaba. You know, you take your tapes and you go to the TV stations and automatically you have a label. But with film, it's different. I started TV and video production in school. So when I left the music and I went into movies, thank God I had a superstar partner. And we were able to create one of the almost 8 years TV show that was showing every single week. Jennifer's Diary, and that was a huge success. Now, moving into movies, I just realized that basically my whole point is we can sell ourselves to ourselves, and then in return sell it to the world.
So you think we should first concentrate inwards before we talk about going out?
I definitely think we need to be authentically ourselves. Americans sell America to themselves and then sell it to the whole world.
So my question would be, don't you think Nigerians are Nigerian in terms of our mentality and how we see things?
Well, I think we're a bit westernized in many ways. So for instance, I have a project I've been working on since 2020 called Soul Kids TV. Please check it out. is an animation platform where I teach Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo in a co-communal style. So instead of, I've been able to convince a lot of families to move from the typical Western programming to Nigerian, African programming, which definitely creates more confidence in our identity, and most importantly, it brings money back home. Because as part of that also, I'm training a lot of young boys and young girls how to recreate same thing I'm doing, just like I did with music. We're doing the same thing with animation and AI.
Yeah. So let's look at Bruce, yeah?
My experience is based on two sides, and I'll probably start with like maybe 20 years ago when I went to watch the skills in the Woolwich Arsenal. They were performing, they had Tom Jazz there, was introducing Tom Jazz. This was about, I think you remember, about 20 years ago. And they were speaking English. So they were trying to promote, and that was like the genesis of Afrobeat. They were trying to promote the music, but they weren't speaking. Now, they were speaking English, but they were speaking dialect. And along the line, things start changing a little bit, started seeing the difference. So the first real changing moment for me was when I was on a bus and I saw two white kids singing Big Square. No one really like you. I was stunned. Like that was my first time I saw white kids speak Afrobeat. And from that on, I think I know there's something up to something. Funny enough, I started acting before singing. So
you sing as well?
Yeah, I do sing mostly. So I started acting in 2009 in the Final Keeper UK movie, the black-based movie, and I didn't start singing until 2016. But what we can pick from things like this is we might not understand the effect that music has gone us into. I think someone mentioned something about fashion just now. It's a trending thing now if you are in the UK or the US to wear like ashoki, to wear traditional wear. That came from the music. When the internet came into being and people from the Western world started watching Afrobeat, watching African people sing and see what they wear, it transformed into the fashion thing. And that's why you can go into a store now and see ashoki being branded for £100. Which you can get less from here. So the way this has transformed over time has changed the culture itself. Kids born in the UK now wants to be associated with Africa, wants to be associated with Nigeria because of the music. So I think from my own part, there was Black History Month this month, about 2 weeks ago. I performed a show in the Milton Keynes for Black History Month. And a lot of people, a lot of white people who are interested in Afrobeat ask me questions, and they also ask me questions about what I'm wearing. So it's transforming. If you look at where Afrobeat has come from, now last year on streaming platforms, Spotify alone, they paid out 58 billion naira to Nigerians, 58 billion on Spotify on Afrobeat. So, and this is just the beginning. We've not even got to half of where we are going. And okay, so again, last month.
So do you think that we're harnessing this opportunity that's been presented? Do you see that as Nigerians we're gaining from it?
Absolutely. I mean, back in the days, the biggest skills to be able to give verify this. The only way artists to make money from music is endorsements and performance. But now you can sit in your house in Guabalada and be making dollars from streaming. You don't have to get an endorsement anymore. I mean, the streaming power, the internet power of being able to communicate your music to people all over the world has changed things for us. And again, like I said, it's just getting started. I was at the premiere of Akim, City Justice, who were there together in London about a month ago, and you can see the reception of the people coming. The number of people coming to watch that movie, how Hollywood has evolved over time. If you're there, you'll be proud. Everybody was proud of the global idea because we are into something big. And I'm telling you that this is just the beginning. We have a long way to go, and the government can help encourage it in some initiatives as well.
All right, but I know you don't. Thank you. Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Abuja the Incredible Minister of Happiness. And I always, when I come to a room, I want to see smiles, and I want everybody to be happy. So I ask the question, are you happy? Are you happy? Because it starts from within, right? Okay, so my journey has been quite a long one, because today I sit pretty as a 42-year-old woman trying to make a difference in my power, and my self-power is pushing through as a Nigerian. I brand myself first as a Nigerian. Everywhere I go, globally, I've been to some places, and when you see me, you see a Nigerian. If you first of all, I wear my day. I like my African attires. My friends, especially my Lagos friends, because I've done like a lot of stuff. I used to be a runner-up Miss Nigeria and all of that. And people expect that, oh, you're just supposed to come and be all American again and all of that. But I love being Nigerian. And people ask when I go abroad, people are like, oh, where are you from? Depends on what I'm wearing or what. And I'm like, yes, Nigerian, and I'm proud, black and proud. And for me, I started my journey as a musician 17, 18 years ago. I tried to go through with it. I used to, Dr. Braggs, my late producer, with Dagwing, I've done some stuff. And I mean, I'm blessed with some talents that I think God just handed to me on a platter. That's why on the show, Real Housewives of Abuja, people used to say, oh, she's so talented, or whatever. But I rap, and like I really rap, I sing, and I dabble into politics. I'm an entrepreneur first. First of all, when I I wouldn't say dropped well, but I didn't follow my dreams in music and all of that, was I started to do business, so I designed my own clothes. I have Koshwala Gems,
Let me ask you a question. Which one of these many ventures would you say has put you out there?
Oh, okay. Well, first, putting me out there is from the show, right? The reality show, which I kind of told my story.
Real Housewives of Abuja. When did that start?
3 years ago.
So before 3 years ago, weren't you out there?
Oh, before 3 years ago.
I mean, there was a video where you were people.
Oh, yes, I was
housewives.
Oh, yes. Well, I guess being my brand, myself. Authentic self.
That is your Nigerianness.
My Nigerianness, yes. And so, yes, so that's what I put out there. And I want to say I'm from Abuja, right? And I love Abuja, and I want to be in Abuja. And I'm back into entertainment. I have songs in Spotify and Apple Music on different platforms. And I am putting out a Power Woman album. I see that Nigerians at large do not support Abuja as much in the entertainment field.
Explain.
Yes, explain. So it's kind of tough for me because I can do it like any Lagos artist, yes. And but because you're from Abuja, you don't get to be picked in certain things. You don't get to be, or let's say, remembered. Do you understand? Because people remember, oh, Shaka girl has that talent, she can do 126 characters.
You just say you're not in your head and you agree.
But because I'm in Abuja, like recently.
Are you saying that it's just because of where you're based?
Yes, because of where I'm based. Even like recently, I love Stella Damascus. She's a very loving friend of mine. And she said, oh, because you're in Abuja, people like flying you in. And I'm like, how? Don't they fly?
It's not where you're based, it's the money thing. There's extra costs because it's not just flying you in, it's accommodating you, it's taking care of all your needs. And so it will be easier. And that is why what the group MD of the Abuja investment company is doing is good. Because if they can bring more of this into Abuja, then you wouldn't have that problem, would you?
That's
because
right.
I am a producer, and I'll be honest with you, with the way the cost of things are, you will not be a consideration if I can get alternatives in Lagos. That's the plain truth.
That's right.
Because you have to consider your costs. Okay. Yeah? So I think that is why this conversation is good. Because if there's investment that attracts me to come here where I don't have to fly you in, then I'll come here, I know everything is available, and then you can do your thing. Yeah?
Why would you give me a chance only because I'm here, just because of the cost, and it's an extra cost?
You should pay. The producer is a business person.
That's right.
First of all, whether music, whatever. It's like saying that JJC, all his artists are Lagos, you should come and shoot a music video here. It's not going to make sense. Except he's not a businessman and he's running a charity organization. And I'd like to assume that you would use the resources you have where you're located. If it is available, there'll be no reason to go out, except what you're looking for is not available. So it might be small cost to you, to the business person is big unnecessary cost. I don't know if am I making sense? But that is why yeah.
Well, nightlife is very big. Let me just say, entertainment as a whole is very much. When I mean massive, I mean a lot of billions is coming into it. But unfortunately, before now, people did not pay attention to it, or people did not see us as serious people. I've done this that I know for 29 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 29 years. And I know it was 29 years because there was a story that made me remember when I started. You know, maybe I should say this story very short. My mother, people of my age there used to see us like miscreants when you talk about entertainment. The JJC will look like a tout, a Jimmy beat a woman on screen. Your mother will not want you to be like him. And then you say you want to go and do show. I don't know if you understand me. And then I was able to convince her to borrow 36,000 naira to go and do a show in last year, I guess. And my brothers, that's 6 boys who were a national team now. And then we sat down and everybody was against it. That why we should give me 36,000 naira. 36,000 naira 29 years ago. I remember that my tenant bought a brand new car for 70,000 and there was a party. So you know what 36,000 naira was 29 years ago. But I was able to convince her, I gave the money before everybody woke up, and she couldn't give me the money. And you know, she had the money, she did the sell market, and I went, I did the show, the turnout was massive. When I said massive, massive. That time, 2 days was begging me to perform. Pasco, we used to call it Pasco now, South Sultan, the blessed memory, begging to perform. Unfortunately, there is no phone, no technology, no wristband, you have to stamp your hand to enter. And then they stole the stamp from one of them, they stole the second one, started stamping themselves. Wasted. How will I go? And I have to stay off hours for 3 weeks. I could not go.
So you didn't make your money?
I said the two stamp, we're not even talking about my life, we're not like the little. I could not go for 3 weeks. My mother and I started writing letters. You know, there is no phone, no email. Started writing letters to my friend that she come home. And I went home one day. I got home around 6, but because it was still not very dark. And I know that she would beat me because my mother has to beat me. So I waited till dark so that people would not see her beating me. When I entered the parlor around to 10, I met only her. Patiently seated, watching NTV News. And that time we used to use black and white television, we used no color to mobile phone to appear as a color television. She was watching it. So the food is there on the dining table. So she kept the food this side of the dining table and she was seated like this, meaning I was back. And I took food to the other side. I was sitting and waiting for the king. Nothing happened. I slept in the parlor. You know, you could not sleep because we were expecting king. If I was dreaming king, I woke up because I thought I was dreaming. Till date, she had not asked me what happened. But I told her that day that I was going to make her proud. This thing that people are saying will turn into business. tell it to people.
Tell me what the story is now.
The story is long. When he said he's writing a book, I've been writing my own for 5 years. Because I keep changing the writers. I don't have the time. When I remember anything, I will tell them, I've been writing my own for 5 years. So if I'm going to launch it, my chapter 1 to 10. My story is long. We started entertainment when there was nothing. When you basically start from area 1 to beggar, then Abuja environment to come and tear it. You go and you put it again, you tear it, and people still come out. You say, what to go through? A lot. When JJC, let me tell you a bit of your soul, JJC. You're a wicked person. You check the bank and you're just out of a flat in London. They told me. And I got the bank in Nigeria, 2005, June 16. You check them out. So I'm saying it publicly. Why did you check them out? Why?
Let me defend myself.
Because you're a British gay with a visiting visa.
It's very simple. We're here at the Abuja Business and Investment Expo.
So I'm trying to
As a part of our story, we are asking us, don't hide your story. Say your story.
So this is the story. As a young man, I believed in young talents and I wanted them to be big. And I invested and developed them, even brought them to Nigeria so that you can know about them. Then when we went to the UK, I was like, okay, now, time to cash out. Here's your contracts. They didn't sign. They were already big. They didn't need the contracts. They took the next flight that you helped them to come to Nigeria. And
you never went back.
You are the wicked one.
So you're the wicked one.
So there is money, there is business in your business.
There's a loss.
Yes.
But the issue is that, thank God, we have somebody like Ambassador Kamala. I've never met her, but I've written to her like 2-3 times, and she approved discounts for us to use the hall, Eagle Square. I've even written that for if you don't consult, she doesn't know us. What we're saying is, you don't need to know people to make things work. But the problem we have in Nigeria is, most things have been done by knowing people. But for entertainment, all of us here, we've done a lot on our own without knowing people. Again, we go today, a Burna Boy today collects 1.5 billion Burna Boy. It's not, people think they are forming, it is true. $1 million with terms and conditions. Not just $1 million. And these are people that have strived on their own. African women, started over 20 years ago. African women everywhere, till date, is still a living legend. And if I give this opportunity, they have a concert next month, February 14th, at Campbell Place.
Okay, let's now get into the conversation. I mean, we're missing out in the industry we operate in. Why isn't it like a Hollywood? Why can't we have the population to do numbers? Yes? That means we don't even need externals to make billionaires in this country. Am I correct? What are we doing wrong? Why do we still have people who are doing all this work and they don't have anything to show for it? Do different. How can they help? How can anyone help, any investor, to put us where we're supposed to be so that it's not just about fame, but that the fame is matched with money?
Okay, so
yeah, go on. Obviously.
I believe Nigerians are one of the most talented set of people on the planet. Now, the problem is we don't have structure. That is the biggest problem we have. And individuals can only come up with something and then other people will emulate it, but as an overall structure, and this is why I love what I heard today about the film village.
Things that I've heard said the most, and we did have this conversation here, is the fact that, and this is because I belong to an association called the Forum for the Women in Film and TV. Dr. Silva sitting here as the president, and we had a panel conversation sometime last year. We had people from LA had over 40,000 members. We had members from different countries all sitting down. And one of the things that came out is that the reason reason why they don't come here is who do they talk to? When you say you want to go to a guild, somebody else will tell you it's not a guild. When you say you want to, it's not a guild, that there's so much confusion and there's no real information. And if it was possible to have one credible source that you know, either from the internet, even without getting here, you can get all your questions answered, that it would make life easy. So my question is, because collaboration for growth, I mean, what is it that you think, or what are you doing to make Abuja the pride or attractive for investors when it comes to the creative and entertainment industry?
Good afternoon. Thank you for that. Basically, what we're trying to do, I've listened attentively to what other colleagues have said. We said there's no structure. So what we are trying to do at Abuja Investment through our subsidiary Abuja Film Village is to have the first ever Abuja office, where it's a one-stop shop for all this. So we have structure. For instance, we've gotten feedbacks from actors and movie producers that don't have proper props. You see Nigerian movies when the policeman is dressed in a police uniform. So we as a government agency can provide that kind of, through the Abuja Film Office, which we've started, that kind of structure that is required. And we've also said that we also want to make Abuja a very, have a creative and environment for Abuja. Because locationally Abuja is very strategic. We have the Kari Wood, which is just about 400 kilometers away from here. And we have all other parts of Nigeria, which is Abuja Extension. So why can't we just develop a place whereby from Kari Wood, from Nollywood, from the east, from the west, you want to make a movie, you want to shoot a movie, you come to Abuja and we provide all those infrastructure because we are the government, we can talk to these government agencies to provide whatever you need in terms of logistics. We are also trying to partner with hotels and everything to make your cost of production lower, because overall, any production that is done creates job for the youth. And that is why, if we're able to bring a lot of more movies, a lot of more production into the FCT, we have this multiplier effect to our youth in terms of job creation and every other things. And
so let me ask a question. If, for instance, I had a movie to shoot, I have a scene where I need a market, I need a hospital, I need a bank, for instance, all in that movie. Can I come to you, to your office, the film office, and say, this is my script, this is everything I need. I need authentic police uniforms. Can you become my one-stop shop, my plug for everything else? So I don't have to go from this person to this person to this person. As a field, is that what you intend, or is that what the intention is with the Abuja Film Office?
That's what we intend to do. And we started this project on the 1 hectare, still a work in progress. But I know by the time we're reporting probably next year, we'll tell you what we've done, and that is intentional. What we want to do now, like you mentioned, we want the market scene. We have most of the market in Abuja, so getting access to that. If you look at Centenary City, we also have a stake in that. So if you want to do a very good movie showing that kind of scene, we have every dot that you need in terms of getting those things within our network. And if it's outside our network, we can still call and talk to those people, because in the government, the classic government, will be able to facilitate and make your movie and your production more efficient, and also because of the central location, maybe from Kano can come, any other part of the country to come to play a role, to be able to shoot a movie. That is the first step of what we have. We are very deliberate and intentional in what to do. About the film village is something that is long to medium term. It's a 3,200 acres of land today that we want to gradually develop segments so that we'll be able to bring all the things we're talking about, all the structures that we're talking about, so that people don't even need to go to Lagos. She doesn't need to go to Lagos, people, but other people, Lagos will come here for the talent, because the environment is here, and everything you need to do, talents are here, you're working with a group of actors in the FCT, and the directors in the FCT, the producers represent the FCT. So finally, we'll make, like FCT has surpassed Lagos in every area, probably movie making and every other thing in entertainment. FCT will also surpass Lagos in all these in terms of nutrition. And that's our dream.
Okay, thank you. You wanted to say something?
Thank you. All you are saying about people that are shooting through, their problem is trying to be known. They have problems. We are only two issues.
Yes.
Which Oga or Madam can even just approve from.
No, we
have all the good roads in Abuja. That is the fact. We all came, by road down here. But the question is, why is the road leading us to? We don't have venue. Want to give you a getting venue. I'm not hiding, I'm doing public. International companies that we cannot afford it. Let's not even do it. But Eagle Square, fine, but if you are doing it, you do concerts, revenue, you can go to Eagle Square. But there are some shows I want to do, I know.
So there's a lack of venue.
We have booked Transport Beauty 5 times this year. And the last one on Saturday night, we started the question. Thank you, sir. He supported us personally, bought some tickets for him and his family. We sold out of VIP.
Why? So the venues are not big enough for the kind of thing you want to do.
VIP was 200 chairs, and Abuja people like show off. The regular was okay, but was struggling. Everybody wanted to be in the VIP. And we started carrying chairs when the show was going on. But at the point, there is a limit of such you can do. And then probably I've lost about 2 million naira, which I would have made if we have a bigger venue.
So that's something that's.
Eagle Square is too big. International conference center is a global area.
Eagle Square is like an open stadium.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's not a
International conference center, we cannot.
But that is that government, or are we talking to private investors to see that there is ability,
that's what I'm going to.
Okay.
So we have all the rules.
But where
you don't necessarily have to do your show in the international conference center. Let Madam give land to one private company somewhere to build. There's no theater in Abuja. No theater. I hope you are aware of that. No theater. What we're going on is.
So you don't do stage here?
What?
You don't do stage plays here?
Which theater are you doing? There's no theater. So they do it fine, I'm not saying they don't do it, but it's the venue is there. Not their things. It's dilapidated. We need, the government don't have to do everything. Just create that environment.
Dr. Baker, are you listening? Do you have an answer?
Yes. We have a plan whereby we want to create open theaters in all these area councils.
Well, he's even saying that the venues you have are not big enough for the kind of big shows we're talking about, that can earn you the kind of revenue that we're talking about as well.
Yes, that is something that we're still working about. Also, Abuja is properly planned. And it's a well-developed city whereby we cannot just come and build an entertainment place in particular.
Yeah, but a well-developed capital city must have a massive, at least one, entertainment hub. Because the way Nigeria is going and the entertainment industry is going, that's the future.
Can I intervene?
Yes, please.
Now, we have a land that is 3,200 hectares.
Yeah.
And the whole federal capital city is 800 hectares. So which kind of event or venue you want that land of 3,200 hectares can provide? But we are saying
so that's a plan.
That is the plan. That is the long-term place whereby that will be the entertainment city of the world or Nigeria and you'll be there.
Okay.
Where are your plan? So important, sir. Where are your plans?
Okay, I've just been told that we've run out of time and that in order for us to be able to take some interventions that we need to take. I think last night we should take it first. Okay, let's just take one or two. There's
Abia State Turkish exhibition coming on in November 2025, 25th to 27th. So I'm representing here today the Abia State government. But I'm based here in Abuja to an extent for 25 years. I would like to say this. Since yesterday that we've been here, intentionality had been expressed. But I want us to take note of this key thing. We must drive legislative backing to make sure that these projects that are being driven actually has a lasting legacy. Why am I saying this? It is because we have a system that if a new government comes, it turns down projects no matter how much ideologically have been invested, resources has been invested, it becomes an uninteresting venture. So why am I talking about legislature? It is important that this summit is able to take a bill that out of all of the ideas that are being driven and generated here, Jimmy made mention of the fact that all of our achievements have been individual. That is just it.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
So let's drive collectively.
We've got that. So
That's
do we
fine.
have legislation? Not a case of this leader is not interested, this leader is interested, or new plans come up. These are laudable ideas. What are we doing to ensure that this is a long-lasting, sustainable project?
I think the solution is what we are doing.
Yes.
As AICL, we are private sector.
Yes.
And you can see we have done PPPs that have spanned different or 4 or 5 administrations. And because of our structure of
Can I hold you? Before this, a lot of us have never heard a lot of what we're saying. So even if it has spanned 4 or 5 administrations, the only reason why we are hearing this is because the person in charge now is interested. And that is the problem we have here. How do we ensure that it is not about Madam, Ambassador Tamino, liking and seeing possibilities, and tomorrow is somebody else that is there and is like, this is a waste of money, I don't believe in the creative industry. How do we ensure that these projects are not based on wings, but on intentionality, like a lot of us here have said, and see a vision which right now he can see. How do we ensure that if tomorrow so the person that doesn't see the vision, that it still continues because it's backed by something?
So that's what I'm saying, is that for instance, let me take you back to all the PPPs we've done. There are PPPs that the AICL has entered transfer back as 2001, 2003. Use Market is a good example. I can tell you a lot of, that's not what we're discussing here.
Yeah.
And those PPPs, those businesses or those entities are still running to after 4 administration. But what we tried to do, and why AICL was set up, was to remove some bureaucracies of government to an entity that is the business and investment arm to manage and midwife and look at government interests within that state. And that state, that's any investor to know that I have an agreement and all the conditions and terms are adhered to and are very clear from the beginning of striking the deal.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
I've been there. A couple of my colleagues have been there. This is what we've been expecting for a very long time. So let's just give them a round of applause for starting it. But my concern is, I hope it's not going to be one of those things. Because we've seen a lot of situations whereby anything that involves entertainment, the government leaves the practitioners to people who don't know to run it. I just hope they will get the right people, because I know not the people building it now. After finishing, they will, sack them and get some other people. Because I can see some group of young, talented guys.
Sorry, what's your question, please?
My question is that the people handling it now seems to know what they're doing. I hope when it's running, they won't let them off. They will allow them to continue.
Okay, so that's a comment and it has been noted, I guess.
I would say there's money on the table, and in Nollywood, we're not taking it. We are leaving it to the foreigners to come and save us. I ran a company that had almost 40,000 subscribers, and it was just on £1 every month. Do the math, we're talking about 40,000 every month. Now, that was on a small scale. As a businessman, if we can create a platform that has a good revenue income for the creators, which gives them the incentive to create more, we can actually create our own Netflix, our own Amazon, and not have to rely on them for us to make money. And I think that's one thing that the businessmen in this room can assist with.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, all I'm just going to say is patience. As a country, we've been through a lot, but we are on the right path now. It might be very difficult to see, but we are on the right path. The way the music business and entertainment is going, it's becoming a better thing to be in Nigeria anywhere in the world. And this is just the beginning. We just need a little bit of patience. We will get there.
What, Sharana?
I want to say whole woman, whole world. I'm the only woman here, I guess.
I'm not a woman.
Okay, no, apart from me, I'm saying speaking. Oh, my lady. So, invest in us. Yeah, we are the greatest assets. I mean, who birthed men? Women, right? I have an initiative, the Power Women Initiative. I'm starting and I'm building a community of sisterhood. So join with everything, entertainment, tech, whatever it is. Come through, okay? Because I get to power, power, woman power. This woman power, super power. I love you all.
Okay, thank you. And Gabriel, I'm not involved in the film festival. It's Abuja International Carnival. It's point of correction. I'd like to thank the present government. It's actually the first time we have been listened to. I'm not saying they gave us money, just listening to us. Entertainment is a big business. Doctors, how much is their salary? That's true. Parents, I want you to be a medical doctor. No, they say, I want you to be, let me not use two faces. I want you to be a whiskey, a Bonner Boy, a JJC, that is beginning to manifest in our ocean. Entertainment creates job. Entertainment reduces crime. Take notes. An upcoming artist that wants to be somebody in life will not be on the streets to be an underdog. He will want to protect that faith. So we need to encourage entertainment. It improves tourism in the city where we are. Cultural exports. I found a lot of places in the world and I was shocked. One day I was in one place at the airport. For 3 hours I was waiting, it was all Nigerian song. I was in Kenya, I was in the nightclub from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. All through, they played Amapiano 10 times. Every other thing was Nigerian music. So it's a big business. We have to make it work.
Thank you, Dr.
And we should not depend 100% on the government. Let's also do our part. And finally, let me also thank my sister, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Creative Economy. She's a fantastic woman. All the men who she comes, she attends. She doesn't give us money, but she attends. And finally, Barrister Wike, we have good roads, we're happy, the security has improved. But give us very know that this road will lead us to. Thank you.
So, talking about the road, we will be the one to take the road that will be the structure for all the platforms. So all this road is talking about need to come to AIC, about that privilege, and we make a good, viable, creative economy in this FCT.
Thank you. First, let me, Ambassador Maury Chapman, let me say thank you to you, because everything you have done here shows intentionality. And we've seen a lot of times where a lot of things, when they say they shave your head in your absence. So a lot of times government makes policies, bankers make loan plans. People keep creating stuff without consulting. But I can see here that you really want to find out how, and you're already towing the right path. So we want to thank you. The creative industry employs everybody else. That's the truth. One movie has lawyer, doctor, driver, chef, everybody else. Insurance, if it's properly done. So it's a whole community for just one. So imagine when you have that ecosystem running with several in motion.
And also the creative industry is the biggest tool to change perception. To change perception of a people, of a nation, and to sell your culture. So what you're doing, honestly, we don't take it for granted. We want to say a big thank you to you and your team. And we wish you well this time next year, we want to see it fully functioning. And then we want to get that Koshorela has more jobs that she can handle. Because everybody is coming here. Thank you very much to the panelists. Thank you to our audience.
Thank you very much. Can we please give them a big round of applause? But whilst, please just sit down briefly, I'd like to invite the group managing director to please lend her voice to all you have said. We must have taken a few notes, especially to relate to you some breaking news as to what is in the offing from her office. Please, a big round of applause for the group managing director, CEO.
Thank you so much, His Excellency, Nyeso Wike. And Nyeso Wike came and appointed Ambassador Maureen. And so that's how the film village came to be. And, you know, Rome was not built today. The market started, and I tell you, people that bought market shops 29 years ago still have their records with us. Today, we're breaking the grounds for the film industry in Abuja. 50 years down the line, it will grow. And so I want us to have that faith. Now, I'm going to be speaking not as the GMD of Abuja Investment, but as a diplomat who, by privilege, I tell you that for every resort I went to in these countries, it was Afro music. And you can imagine an ambassador of Nigeria getting into places where they are playing songs and you're going, and I had to learn dance steps. Because my colleagues would say to me, teach us how they do this buga. I was leading ambassadors and teaching them, if I dance for you guys, forget it. You have to pay. And when your next show, make sure you invite people, you pay me good money, right? So, you know, we were very excited. And one of my greatest moments as a High Commissioner was when Bonaparte was coming to Jamaica for his show. I was in London and I had a phone call to say the promoters of Bonaparte are upset because the Jamaican counterparts are not allowing them to set the stage the way Bona wants the stage set. And I thought of what to do. That Nigerianness in us rose up in me. And I pulled a call across to the Minister for Culture in Jamaica. I said, what's going on? Our Grammy Award winner is coming to Jamaica, and I hear that people are not allowing them after they collected money. Let me tell you, I can call up this show. I was bragging. And they were scared. And they said, what do you want? I said, you just need to allow the promoters. Bona's father is an uncle of mine from Port Harcourt, and he called me, a younger brother, he entered town. You know, Port Harcourt is the main place, you know. But Abuja is the place now. You know, so you hear that, right? So, with that, we quickly had to call my office, the embassy. I said, get into the stadium with 3 embassy cars, Nigerian plates, numbers in Jamaica. As soon as they got in there, the promoters who refused the setting were asking, how do you want it done? There is a Nigerianness that will get you to where you're going. We're unique, that's what I'm trying to say. In our most special way. Photographs and examples. Oh, are you J.J. Okocha's sister? I said, we live next door. I don't know you. Yeah, there's something about us. So it's not just, we're excited about what all of you do. And for all of you that I have personal relationship with, you know that we're grateful and glad that we have you. So this is just a stepping stone. Going back to it, yes, Owike is building a lot of places. Somewhere it's coming up called the Sports Center in Life Camp that is working on. It will be big. And those are places I'm sure that will be affordable for you to, go and, hire and do your shows. But I will also say to you, now people are beginning to understand that there is money in the creative arts. It's actually value chain, like you said. Hairdressers will make money, tailors will make money, everybody will make money. But you need to be ready to share that your money. That's where PPP comes in. Public-private partnership owners want to see, if I drop my money, How much am I going to make in this space of time? Vis-a-vis if I do this other thing. So it's time for you to engage with those people. We're already as Abuja investment company and Abuja Film Village. We have 3,200 hectares of land. Beautiful scenery. No GMB had gone to the venue. Before I came, in fact, when I came, they told me, don't go there.
Wonderful panel. A round of applause, please. Thank you, and thank you very much indeed. I would like to appreciate the presence of our veteran auntie.